Well, I guess that's it. America is doomed. As much as I tried to hide from it and explain it away, there's no escaping it. I've tried not to jump to conclusions. I've tried to think rationally about what to do next. I really don't see any way out of it. So, I'm going to do the only thing I can think of to do. Get in a car and just go. Straight to the White House so I can shake Donald Trump's hand. Oh, did you think I meant... No. No, sorry. But I did mean what I said. America is doomed. It's just not because of Donald Trump. America is doomed because of the entitlement that is rampant in our society today. For some reason, people feel like they're owed things that previous generations either didn't have or had to work their fingers bloody just to get. We have become a nation of thin-skinned, whining, hypocritical crybabies. Everyone gets offended at the drop of a hat. And it's not a little bit offended either, like something that kind of eats at you all day and you go home and tell your wife, your husband, your mom, your dad, whoever you have waiting for you at home, man, you'll never guess what happened to me today. And that's the end of it. No. These are giant waves of offense, tsunamis of offense, crashing against a beach of hypocrisy. And I'm not sure how long the sandcastle of common sense is going to stand against these waves. There are tons of videos about easily offended, safe space snowflakes out there on the internet, so I'm not going to take time to go into all of them. And thankfully, there are plenty of skeptical channels to debunk them. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you go do so. They can be a little crass, they can be a little ignorant, but the important thing is they're not afraid to tell the truth. And I agree that there are many different ways in which we can speak the truth, but the truth is the one thing that should never offend anyone. Somehow these days it's become so evil to speak the truth that people are trying to silence it left and right. Universities used to be the birthplace of great ideas and great people in our society. I'm not even sure what they've become now. The giant safe spaces for all of these hypocrites. Yale, or at least one professor at Yale, has made testing optional because of the election results. Since when is testing optional at a university? That's beyond me. I don't understand it. But that's not even the worst one. In the University of Michigan, students were handed coloring books and Play-Doh as a way to try and cope with their feelings and move on after the election results. Let that sink in for a minute. A college university giving out Play-Doh and coloring books. I weep for America. All over the place, we see Hillary supporters that are posting insanely ridiculous things on social media. People calling out of work because they simply can't function. People posting the suicide hotline number in case anyone might need it because of the election results. Now, I'm sorry, but if you need the suicide hotline number because the election didn't go the way you wanted it to, if you're that upset about the election results, something else is seriously wrong. Women, and even some guys, crying on the news like Donald Trump just ran over their family pet. And also, Trump had made the remark about possibly not accepting the results of this election. And when he did that, Hillary jumped on it, calling him un-American, calling his behavior uncalled for and unheard of. Now, fast forward to after the election results, and Hillary supporters are No, I'm not even going to call it protesting. It has gone so far beyond protesting. Hillary supporters are rioting. Sounds to me like Hillary supporters aren't accepting the election results. I wonder why she's not coming out to her supporters and saying that they're being un-American and acting uncalled for and being unheard of. It's funny. My daughter is going to be 7 in a few months. And I asked her the other day what the proper behavior was when something doesn't go her way. I asked her what she should do if something doesn't go her way. And she never said yell and scream. She never said throw a temper tantrum. And she never said blame somebody else. How come, America, how come my 7-year-old daughter understands that that's not the way to handle things, while the rest of the world, the rest of America, seems to have forgotten? I was just sitting in disbelief the other day about the election results, and a thought came into my head. I don't know where it came from, but it fits perfectly. If you've ever seen the movie Young Frankenstein, it captures the election results perfectly. And I'm going to try and find a clip of that movie and throw it up here.
Be of good cheer. If science teaches us anything, it teaches us to accept our failures as well as our successes with quiet, dignity, and grace. Son of a bitch bastard, I'll get you for this!
I've also heard recently a large outcry against Pence, saying all sorts of things like he wants to electrocute the homosexuals and he wants to force them into becoming straight. And I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure electrocuting people is illegal unless it's part of capital punishment. And last I checked, being gay was not a crime, so either our vice president-elect is a mass vigilante who goes out at night with a cattle prod and a big grin on his face, or he was misquoted. So let's look at what he actually said. He said that resources should be directed towards institutions that provide assistance to those seeking to change sexual behavior. Did you catch that? There are two things in that sentence that have been twisted to fit Democratic agenda against Pence. First thing was that he said seeking to change. He didn't say he was going to force anybody to do anything. He said provide assistance to those seeking to change. So what that tells me is that if someone is looking for help, he's going to give it to them. That sounds wonderful. That doesn't sound hateful. Hey, I need help. Okay, I'll give it to you. Wonderful. The second thing is that He said sexual behavior. He did not say sexual orientation. They are two different things after all. Masturbation is sexual behavior. Adultery is sexual behavior. Yeah, sexual orientation is under the umbrella of sexual behavior, but it's not the same thing. He never said he was going to go around and electrocute them, and he never said he was going to force them into becoming straight. And bottom line, I didn't want Donald Trump as my president either. But as soon as Hillary Clinton became his opponent, there was no contest. I mean, there were so many people that were better fit to run this country than both of them. But that's who we got. So now that Trump's won, I really think, you know what? America can be great again. Perhaps the streets will be safe once again for straight white Christian men to walk arm in arm. We're not going to have to build a wall. Our privilege is going to be an unpenetrable wall that nothing will be able to topple. If any of you snowflakes are still listening, that was a joke. Anyway, I don't think our country's going to go up in flames because of Trump. Yeah, he's probably going to make some changes that are going to offend some people. But that's what this country was founded on. White Christian men who left and said, we want to do things our way. So to all the LGBT, feminists, and other butthurt little snowflakes out there losing their minds because of the election results, I say we formed this country because we did not agree with the establishment of that time. So, if you don't agree with the establishment of this time, go start your own country. We were here first.